Hello and good morning. Welcome to the announcements. I have a special guest today. This is Joanna Brockwell, and we're going to learn a little bit more about you here in just a minute. But first, these are going to go out on September the 30th, 2024. That's a Monday. It's the last day of September, and then into what I would call the longest month of school.
Well, September's not really short either.
September is not really short, but at least you have, Labor Day, and you still have a little bit of the honeymoon period. October, it's real. It's on.
That work day on the 18th.
Oh yeah, you guys get
is much looked forward to.
Yep. And it's a work day or is it a day off?
It is a work day.
But no kids.
But no students.
Yeah,
so.
that's SPS. I don't know about the rest of you out there. It's a different kind of
work day.
Yeah, I don't know about the rest of you out there, but SPS is getting a different kind of work on the 18th. Upcoming events. Hey, Lindsay Peterson's got a birthday coming up, October the 4th. My son's in the marching band. They're doing a festival in Bentonville. Looking forward to that. Bentonville. You ever been there?
Big competition.
Oh
no, but I always remember them from the band competitions.
Yeah,
they were pretty intense.
I went last year, and they have bands from Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, maybe Kansas. They had one band that had they had done these big mountains and people had climbed to the top of them. I mean, then there was one band that had an electric guitar solo. I mean, it is a
intense.
Legit deal. Yeah, it is pretty cool.
One time when the girl threw the gun in the air and it hit her in the face and she was bleeding, I knew it was real sport.
It is a real sport. They should get a PE credit for sure because they are doing a lot of moving around and marching. Yep. And your son did band before, so you kind of know.
Lived the life for a little bit.
Yeah. It's intense. Okay, joke of the day. I'm going to tell a joke, and Joanna's going to pretend to laugh, and we'll see how it goes. What has 4 wheels and flies?
4 wheels and flies.
And I know you can see the answer, so pretend to laugh. A garbage truck.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Hey, weird facts. Now, this one I did not know, but back in the day, instead of saying cheese when people took your picture, people used to say prunes. Prunes. Apparently, in the 1840s, it was considered childish to smile for your pictures, so it became popular for people to say prunes instead of cheese in order to keep their mouths taut.
Kind of like the duck.
Yeah, it's like duck lips they do now, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's childish.
Everything comes back around.
I guess from the 1840s to the 2000. I mean, that's
everything comes back around.
It is. Hey, so Joanna, first thing, tell me a little bit about yourself. 60-second biography. Really take as much time as you want, but 60-second biography. Ready, set, go.
So I'm a Philadelphia native, originally from
West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Yeah, on the playground I spent most of my days. So
that's a reference to the Fresh Prince, in case you guys didn't know that.
Yeah. I moved to Missouri in '98 to go to school.
Back in the 1900s, okay.
Yep. Yeah. And stayed, got my first job with SPS.
To go to school?
At Evangel.
At Evangel, okay. And so you're in Evangel Valor.
Twice. I did my bachelor's and my master's.
Okay, yeah.
I'm actually taking some classes again. So we'll see where that leads.
You're gonna
maybe someday you'll call me doctor.
Okay.
I would like that in some ways.
Yeah, okay. I can start doing it now if you want. I don't care.
Let's start the trend.
Yeah.
See how it lands with everyone. So moved out here in '98. My whole family lives here now. I've been with SPS for 23 years. 7 at Fremont, 10 at Harrison. Did you start
when you were 12? Because you don't look like you could have been in education.
21.
Yeah. Typically, when a person is a principal, they age. So, I mean, I am actually only 29. I mean, that's what education has done to me.
And I didn't have to wear my readers on this, so other's that might have convinced you.
I do have to wear my readers sometimes. I'm far back now. Okay, so you've been 23 years in SPS.
Yep.
Okay, so what buildings have you worked in at SPS?
Fremont, 7 years.
Yep.
David Harrison, 10.
Yeah.
I was the assistant principal at Sherwood for not even one, because that was 1920. We shut down for COVID in third quarter.
Yeah, year 19. The 1920 school year was I blocked it out of my memory. It's terrible.
Yep. sat at home. When you're an assistant principal and there's no school, you pretty much lost your job because there's no discipline. And then I've been at Watkins for 5. This is my 5th year.
Watkins Elementary here in the Northland of Springfield, one of the Kearney Corridor schools.
Northside Pride.
Awesome. We met in 2020 when you started at Watkins, because I started just down the street at Robertson, and so
like this.
Yes, with masks on. And we actually, I think the first meeting we went to, we ended up getting quarantined because someone
for
had
10 days.
Someone had COVID and tried to give it to the rest of us.
So then I was out of work again.
Sitting at home with nothing to do. One thing I do remember about our initial time here is that we had a pretty good tight group of rookie principals, and so we're gonna do a little shout out to some of the rookies, okay?
Yeah.
So
can you remember them all?
I can. So Melissa Agnew, aka Alice Pittman, Adam Bax,
aka Wilder Now Field,
and Carol Furman, aka
Carol. Hi.
Went to Branson.
Yeah, whatever.
Right.
We still love you.
Sean DeWitt, who aka left us also. She retired like me, so
she's living the life.
She's living the good life up in the extreme northland of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Erica
Rosenbaum.
Shout
out to Bissett and McBride now.
Yeah, she's down in McBride, and you and me, and is that
That's
7?
7. I think that is 7.
I think we got them all. I only forgot a couple.
The rookies. I should have worn that shirt today, but I wore my Springfield shirt instead.
Yeah. So she's repping the Springfield Association of Elementary School Principals. All right. So before my computer goes to sleep, hey, the moment you've all been waiting for, Joanna's Mount Rushmore. Her 4 people, 1 edu hero, 1 colleague, 1 mentor, and 1 non-educator.
That is big, because some of them fall in more than one category.
Right, and there really are no rules, so do what you need to do.
Well, Edu Hero, I'm gonna go with my first principal ever. Her name is Letha Alt. I don't know if you know Letha.
I do not know Letha Alt. Shout out Letha
She
Alt.
actually subbed for me yesterday.
Really?
Yesterday.
Are you guys Facebook friends?
We are.
So we need to tag her so that she knows.
Yeah.
Letha is a
Letha was my
Edu hero.
Edu Hero. Substitute Edu Hero. She was my very first principal. She hired me. She kind of plucked me out of the computer teacher role and into the classroom.
I did that job too.
Good times between 2 buildings. And then I taught kindergarten. But that was when they still had nap time. So I think we should bring back nap time sometimes.
I'm not opposed to that. I actually visited a early childhood building the other day, and I just having flashbacks. I told them, I said, I don't even think kindergartners are people until about March. They're just like little wild cats.
Yeah.
All right.
So Letha is probably that. And then now super cool to see her in my new role. A colleague, I'm going 7. I'm going the rookies.
The rookie
because
group.
I don't know if I would have made it in 2020 and as a new principal without
Actually,
you guys.
Joanna, you provided a lot of stability for the rest of us. I mean, between you and Adam, any questions we had were answered. I mean, and Melissa, because you guys were SPS, you were here, you knew. And so like for those of us who came from outside, like Sean and Carolyn and I, SPS is a whole different animal, right? You have different letters for things. I mean,
Lots
everybody
of
likes
acronyms.
an acronym, but SPS loves an acronym. All right, okay, so 7 colleagues. And how about a mentor?
All parts of your faces on the one Mount Rushmore, just different parts of you. A mentor? Education related?
Sure.
Well, I'm gonna go with our dear friend Jay Anderson.
Jay Anderson, he comes up a lot in this podcast.
And still to this day. He gave me some good advice about a week or so ago.
I told someone the story about how you said getting an email from him was like getting an email from Martha Stewart.
Here's the deal. For the longest time, I didn't know what to call him. is it J? Is it Mr. Anderson?
Yeah.
Dr. J?
Yeah.
Dr. Anderson?
Yeah.
Like, and he comes in your building,
Yeah. Now it's executive director.
it's just
Anderson.
sir.
Yeah.
That's the safe one.
Yeah.
And then a non-educator, my parents are just a huge part of my life. And my mom was a teacher for 30 years, and so we share a lot of conversations. So she is kind of an educator.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just a source of stability, strength for me. My calm in the storm.
Yeah. You can't hardly beat your parents when it comes to keeping you grounded.
Yeah.
All right, awesome, great Mount Rushmore. All right, quote of the day. This quote comes from Rita Pearson. You ever watched that Rita Pearson TED Talk?
No, but I'm going to now.
Okay, well, Rita Pearson does a TED Talk, or she did a TED Talk years and years ago, and it was about every kid needs a champion, and so that's what the quote is from. I actually met Rita Pearson. I had her come to my school in West Plains and do a back to school talk. It was fantastic. She was a piece of work. I keep saying she is. She has passed away. So R.I.P.
Okay. R.I.P. Rita.
R.I.P. Rita. Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they become the best that they can possibly be. Rita Pearson.
Yeah.
Right? And that kind of brings us into what does it mean, and how is it to be a champion for kids? And I kind of picked this topic because Joanna is, in my mind, in my book, a staunch supporter of her students. I mean, she is definitely a champion for kids. So what is it? What is a champion for kids? A champion for children is someone who believes in a child's ability to accomplish anything and help them reach their full potential. An adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of relationships with kids, and insists that they become the best they can possibly be. That's also part of Rita Pearson's quote. So what does it look like for you? What is being a champion for kids? What does that mean to you? This is on the spot.
Wow.
We didn't rehearse this.
No, we didn't. I mean, that's what we do. Like that is why we do what we do.
Sorry, go ahead.
To be their cheerleader, to be their advocate, to start each day fresh. Sometimes that is, every day you come in with a new, fresh start with the child, to look for ways that they can be successful, to praise them, to offer them opportunities that maybe they wouldn't have had before.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard because kids can really get on your nerves.
Yeah.
And they have issues they bring to the classroom that really kind of out of their control, but it just wears you down. And so what does it look like to be a champion for them? And just be a kind human. That's number one. They need understanding, patience, and sometimes, guilty as an adult, I run low on both of those things.
Yeah.
I have kids, and I run low on those at home, and I'm pretty connected to those kids, but the kids at school, sometimes it's a little bit harder.
Last year I had a student that liked to fight a lot,
Okay.
but like in a way that she was sticking up for herself. And so we tried to flip that switch, so she became my assistant principal. Because I thought that she had some leadership qualities in her that could go either way, right? That you can go down one path, or you can use it for good. And so we tried to point that leadership in the right direction. And when Grandma told me later on in the year that, yeah, I offered her a ride to school later with her brother, but she said she had to get on the bus so she could come and say the pledge. I didn't really understand that.
Yeah.
You say the pledge every day. Well, that was her job as my assistant principal, was to say the pledge.
Yeah.
And I have not seen her in my office once this year.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Maybe once.
Yeah.
Just one time.
I had a student like that at Robertson who she was hard, right? And she would be in the focus room, and I would have another kid come in, and she would basically give this other kid, the kid president pep talk, right? She's telling them how they're supposed to be behaving, why they need to be doing that, all of the things that got her into the focus room, she's explaining to this other kid. And it was beautiful the way she was explaining it. And I'm like, why can't you do this?
Yeah.
You know, so just a little bit of grace.
Yeah, be
So,
their champion.
I have on my notes here, regulate and being dysregulated. And sometimes kids get dysregulated. They can't regulate their emotions. And sometimes teachers get dysregulated by a kid who can't regulate their emotions. And a dysregulated adult cannot regulate a dysregulated child. That's a quote I wrote down. I don't know where that came from. Is that a conscious
So
discipline?
they'll never be at a higher level
Right.
than their teacher, right? So
Right.
if the adult's here, the kid's not gonna be here.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's hard. That is challenging, especially when it's the day in and day out stuff.
So if I'm an adult and I'm here, how can I get back? How can I regulate, adult or kid?
Well, I think you put about taking a deep breath. That really helps. 3 is actually even better than 1.
Some of that, what is it, square breathing or something?
I'm having a hard time. Sometimes I just say that.
Yeah.
I need a minute.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time. This is frustrating to me. Do you see where that might be frustrating for me? Having those conversations, and then trying again the next time.
Yeah. I had a teacher who always would say that, you know, there is nothing that you can do to your students, your kids, that life hasn't already done to them, especially when you're on the north side of Springfield. It's rough. And so, I mean, you can be mad and you can be aggravated with a kid, but there's nothing you're going to be able to do to that kid that their life hasn't already done to them. So your best bet is to step away and catch your breath and then come back a little bit later when you're in the right headspace.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for sure.
all right. Anything else to say about championing for kids?
If not me, then who?
Right. That's what we're here for. All you educators out there. All right. So, at the end of the announcements, I always like to end with 3 things. You have value, you have impact, and what you are doing matters. And I still have to look at the screen to read it because I don't have it memorized. You have value, you have impact, what you're doing matters. Thank you, Joanna, for helping me today.
I'm so glad to be
And
here.
I'll put this on the Facebook and I'll tag you it.
I can't wait to see it.
Any other shout outs?
Nope. And you have value and impact, and what you do matters. And thank you for doing this for the good of the cause.
Just trying to stay relevant. All right, have a great day.
Bye.